What is up, everybody? The Big Boss here, back with another YouTube video. So we saw in the last three episodes of the season, they started expanding on the relationship between Johnny and Robbie, and then Johnny and Sam, and Robbie and Sam. Um, they started expanding on the relationship between Johnny and Kreese. They're on a new stage of development with Johnny and Miguel, where the first season was just Miguel seeing Johnny as this great guy. Suddenly, Miguel finds out that Robbie is Johnny's son. Maybe Miguel felt that he couldn't trust Johnny at that point. Tried to talk to him about it. Johnny said it wasn't his business, and he kind of avoided it. Then Kreese kind of brought up to Johnny, well, what if Daniel gets a hold of Miguel? That kind of sets that idea on Johnny's mind. Johnny decides to have a one-on-one with Miguel and talk to him about why he kept Robbie a secret from Miguel and the rest of the Cobra Kai students. It got very personal. It got very touching. It was an awesome scene in the last episode, and we got to see a little bit more of that, of where I was critical with Johnny about not being there for his son. He did speak on it, going on to say, I failed my son, and I haven't been able to overcome it. Which we're barely seeing Johnny try to overcome it. But there's a lot of other obstacles getting in his way at this point. So we'll see how that turns out between Johnny and Robbie. But at least it looks like that relationship between John and Miguel got patched up again. I guess Miguel understood somewhat. It kind of cut it off. They got cut off by whatever was about to happen, the event at a festival. So we didn't really get to see where Miguel's thoughts were on it, really, other than kind of understanding with Johnny telling him, I got your back. Daniel's still pushing very hard to combat Cobra Kai. Somebody said in the comments that Daniel has that Cobra Kai mentality, and that's something I didn't consider. I'm basing Daniel's character on the show Cobra Kai. I expect Daniel's actions to mimic what he says and what he believes, but he's really getting in his own way, and his emotions are getting the best of him as his actions keep being opposite of his teachings. So we're seeing Daniel struggle with his actions versus his beliefs of self-righteousness and the teachings of Mr. Miyagi. They pushed a little bit more into that relationship between Johnny and Kreese, making it seem like Kreese actually is there for Johnny. While it's possible, and I don't believe Kreese is there for Johnny. I think he has, as I've said this before, he has his own agenda of why he's there. He keeps buttering up Johnny. Whether he means those words or not, I don't know. Or Kreese is going to come to that point of realization that maybe I should change. I think it's going to be one of the two. We'll see what happens there. As the last episode ended, Daniel is pushing to promote his Miyagi-Do karate dojo, and Cobra Kai interfered in that. Interestingly enough, it was Daniel who struck first, taking a dig at Cobra Kai as he was promoting his Miyagi-Do karate. In an advertisement, he said, "Don't be a snake in the grass," which was a subtle shot, a passive-aggressive shot at Cobra Kai. So, of course, Johnny, not being somebody to back down, came out in full force and showed Daniel what he believes karate is about. Good episode. Check it out if you haven't yet. That was episode 3. It was titled Fire and Ice. So now we're going to watch Season 2, Episode 4. And this episode is titled The Moment of Truth. So let's see what happens.
Thank God. I was a little afraid you'd be the other guy. He's a little unhinged. Time to give it another go. Ideally, learning to hit and kick without actually being hit or kicked. The other Cobras are just gonna have to accept that.
Miyagi-Do's all about defense.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah, but people show up for the offense.
Everybody already saw us at Valley Fest. No one cared. So what exactly are we supposed to do? Go to the mall and pick a fight? Hey, Dad. Do you maybe want to come around back? You could teach us some karate?
Let me tell you about my first job selling cars. I did what Mr. Miyagi taught me to do. I treated people honestly. Looked them in the eye, asked for their trust, and I earned it. We gotta use a more personal touch. We gotta look people in the eye and connect with them. Go get Robbie. We're gonna take a drive.
Time to see what you're made of. Which one of you has the balls to take on the champ?
I'll take him on.
Look, are you sure that you want to do All right. Game on. Close the gap. You're telegraphing. My name's Miguel.
Tori. With a Y. My mom wants me to go to the beach club with her.
Oh my God, that sounds so miserable.
Hey, you wouldn't want to go to the beach with me, would you?
Don't do anything stupid, you'll regret it.
What happened?
You couldn't handle training with Mr. Kreese? He's not Cobra Kai material.
What's up?
I'm a little worried about Mr. Kreese.
Look, John Kreese and I go way back. Guy's got his issues, but everyone deserves a second chance. Nothing to worry about. I'm on top of it.
So Kevin's a sophomore already? How did he enjoy freshman year?
I guess it was fine.
It's tough to get a read on these kids. That's why I'm switching it up. I'm going old school.
Oh, yeah? What you up to?
Funny you should ask.
So, how's it going?
You realize we're not okay.
I knew it was you. What did I say would happen if you ever stepped foot in here again? Nothing to worry about, Mrs. LaRusso. Just removing this delinquent from the property.
Well, this delinquent happens to be our guest.
My mistake.
What's that about, Robbie?
Before I met you guys, I was a different person.
Did you hurt anybody?
No, nothing like that. That guy's right. Maybe I should go.
We all make mistakes. It's what we do next that counts, right?
I keep hearing all these stories about bullying being on the rise.
That's right. And the cool thing is the dojo's actually at a house.
Who would have thought that karate would be the thing that turned everything around for my Aisha?
Really? Is she one of your students, Daniel?
Cobra Kai. It's the best thing that ever happened to her. Sensei Lawrence, he's helped her in ways that I couldn't have dreamed. He's given her confidence.
Cobra Kai, didn't they do that thing at Valley Fest? Oh. Yeah, they said it was like a Van Halen concert.
Yeah, that was...
Got it on my phone.
Now, why isn't my kid doing that?
Oh, this is nerd. Give him a check.
Look what I got. Where did you get that? I swiped it from the bar.
You should put that back. You get into big trouble.
I could swipe half the silverware in this place before anyone would notice.
You shouldn't steal anything.
What are you, a nun?
Have either one of you seen my wallet?
I'll check the beach. Maybe someone turned it into the lifeguard.
Hey! My mom's missing her wallet.
Sucks for her.
Just give me the wallet, and I won't tell security. Get off of me! Real nice friend you've made.
You shouldn't have accused her of something like that.
What are you up to?
knew it.
No.
This guy here, man. Same shit, different summer.
Hey, what are you doing here, Robbie? You didn't learn your lesson last time. That's cool. We can give you a refresher course. What, you forgot this was a three-man job?
Knock it off! You want to go back out on the street, John? Live at a bus stop? I got 100 guys that would kill for your bed.
It won't happen again.
Let him go.
You could have told me.
You knew me when I was on top, Johnny. Kind of hard to let that go.
Was any of it true?
Things got rough after I lost the dojo. I tried re-enlisting, but they wouldn't take me. Then I got old. And for the last 10 years, I've been living in places like this. And I heard about what you did in the old valley. And I figured that was my second shot. I feel like a broken man, Johnny. I don't really think I can be fixed.
That sounds an awful lot like defeat. But I was taught defeat does not exist in this dojo. You want a chance to redeem yourself? You got it. But you gotta try to do things my way.
Yes, Sensei.
It was really stupid of me to put myself in that situation.
You're doing what you thought was right.
Former All-Valley champ takes out 3 criminals using Miyagi-Do karate. Feels like it could go viral.
No. Miyagi-Do is about defending yourself and protecting others, not seeking credit. It's time we be patient. Let those who need us find us, right?
Excuse me? Yeah, I want to learn karate.
You have come to the right place.
Sensei Kreese, you want to take this one?
Certainly, Sensei Lawrence. The key to this move is making your enemy think you are retreating, but just as they let their guard down. That's when you strike the hardest.
Okay, a little foreshadowing there. They toned it down a little bit on this episode, and after me saying Daniel's character, and then having a difficult time accepting Daniel's character, and then seeing in the comments people being like, well, that's Daniel, that's Daniel, that's Daniel. I was like, okay, well, maybe that is Daniel. Maybe I'm seeing him incorrectly, and maybe I still am, because it's still premature. We're only episode 4, almost halfway through the season. But then we see Daniel going through these things in this episode, and him actually doing the things that he says, his actions matching his beliefs. And that was actually a really good thing to see. It was like, finally, I get to see a Daniel who is the Daniel that he thinks he is. So I did like that part for this episode. Johnny's always been an amazing character. I said it from the beginning. An honest person, not apologetic about who he is, but he's trying to learn. And he's accepting of his mistakes. His reaction has been emotional. It hasn't helped him much. But we can definitely see him trying now, and I think that's important. That relationship with Kreese and Johnny is a little bit difficult to put my finger on it. Johnny's definitely trying to... Johnny is having empathy for Kreese. because Johnny's been there. Johnny's been on the downs, and he, I'm sure, would have wished somebody would have been on his side. And it wasn't until Miguel came into his life that somebody was on his side. So I think that's what's pushing Johnny to feel that empathy for Kreese and give him an opportunity to do better, to turn it around. The problem is that while Johnny has empathy for Kreese, Kreese may not be trying to change. He may just be trying to get back on top, whatever that means. Saw Miguel not really trusting Kreese. He still doesn't trust him. He learned that Kreese had been lying about who he is, who he has been. He learned the reality of where Kreese has been. And even with all that, Johnny is still giving him an opportunity to do better, to be more, to grow. Even though Kreese, sees himself as an old man, maybe he is, because he's got to be at least older than Johnny. Johnny's in his mid-50s. Kreese has got to be in his mid-60s, maybe. Johnny's showing that compassion to Kreese. Saw it in a different episode. In the first episode of the season, Kreese tells Johnny showing mercy to an old man is a mistake. And that might be true. And Johnny might get burned. But at least Johnny's given him that opportunity to change. Now, whether he does or doesn't, whatever the actions are, maybe that point Johnny will cut him out of his life completely. But at least he gave him the opportunity to be whoever he wanted to be. Great episode. It was a little bit slower. It was good to see these characters developing. Nothing much happened. We hardly saw Miguel. We saw Robbie be up front with Amanda, Daniel's wife, saying, I wasn't the person I am now, and I used to do bad things, instead of trying to hide it. So that was good of Robbie, and it's good to see him definitely trying. But I'm most impressed with Daniel coming above him, going above his actions, and making his actions match his beliefs. That's what impressed me the most about this episode, especially since we've talked about it in the comments about Daniel and who he is. I'm so hopeful, even more with this episode, I'm still hopeful that he continues on this path, but we'll see. I really would like to see a collab between Johnny and Daniel. I think they're both protagonistic characters. I would like to see that infused to the show and have a different antagonist. But we'll see what happens. We're only almost halfway through season 2. There's a season 3 coming out. Can't wait to see what happens there. But for now, there's where we're at. I don't have too many comments for this one. It was a pretty straightforward episode. If y'all want to add anything, the comments are always helpful. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all. As always, if you like this video, please click that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And click that bell to be notified every time I release a new video. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you on the next one.